Hey everybody, all one of you, or I think there were two of you in here a little bit earlier. I think it's been going back and forth. I'm not sure how many I'm going to have. Now we have three. I'm not sure how many we're going to have tonight because I did have to reschedule this one due to a power outage we had last weekend or last Friday. Guys, Brandon's really restless right now, so hey, Blissful, I may have to, periodically pick him up so he's not dragging himself across the floor. And perhaps he'll settle down here shortly. Um, I'm going to pick him up right now and see if he'll go in the kitchen and lay down in the bed in there. Oh, man. There you go. There you go. You can do it. So bless his heart. As I've said before, he has a little trouble in that department. I'm trying my camera. Plus, for some reason, things look a little askew again. And I think it's to do with my camera. But I'm trying to sit a little bit further back. So I hope you guys can hear me. So I'm not just like right up in everybody's face, and I think I look a little skinnier like this rather than if I'm right up in the daggone camera. I hate the way Steve's camera makes me look because it's like, I don't know. I think it's a good camera, but it's got like what I refer to as a fisheye lens. And I just think it makes me just look this wide. And I know I'm not that wide, but that's how it makes me feel. But anyway, I still feel like I need to adjust this camera a little bit because there we go. That's a little bit better. It's cutting off the top of my head or the top of my hat or whatever you want to call it. I've got my Lucio Fulci zombie shirt on. So I'm ready to go. Even though we're not watching Zombie tonight, we are watching Sorority House Massacre. I do have the Tubi link for those of you that are able to access Tubi. If you can't access Tubi, I know Darren cannot in the UK. I hope, if you want to, you can come in and not be watching the movie, but I just figured it would be more fun for you if you had a version to watch. And the Tubi one was really the only one I could find. If you've got your own copy, I think Darren told me he had his own copy. So if you either have your own copy or you found another way to watch it online other than Tubi, if you can't watch it on Tubi, awesome. I'm going to blab a little bit like I do always at the beginning to give, some more people a chance to get in here that maybe want to participate in this. Hold on. Steve let the dogs out, or a couple of the dogs out, and I told him not to do that. Come on, Steve. Go on in there. Blissful, you say it takes a while for your guy to settle down too. Yeah, so you totally get that. Also, this will give me a chance to go over the rules in case, I'm not having the hard stuff tonight because I definitely didn't want to overdo it and get sick because that's not my objective. But I do have watermelon margarita here instead of, going with Fireball whiskey or something like that. That's a little bit harder. But as I said before, you don't have to drink an alcoholic beverage. I know some people are abstaining from alcohol, which is perfectly okay. I'm not saying that if you want to still participate in the drinking part of it, you can drink soda, you can have a mocktail, you can have iced tea, lemonade, water, energy drink, whatever you want to do, or you cannot drink anything. So, and that is fine as well. You can just come in and watch the movie. But I just thought that I would try a little bit of something different with this one. So I think I had the rules in the description for the video. Hold on just 1 second here. I just got a new subscriber, it looks like. Just bear with me 1 moment, guys. I'm going to bring up my rules here. But I'm going to modify the rules a little bit because the rules that I looked up are kind of, they say like taking 3 drinks for something. I think what we're going to do is keep it to 1 drink for those of you that are drinking the alcohol. That way we don't overdo it, okay? Because we want this to be fun. We don't want anybody to get sick if they are drinking alcohol. Okay. So I have in this description, I say, okay, this weekend is a bonus round. There's going to be a drinking game. So unless you're abstaining from alcohol for personal reasons, and you can also follow these rules with lemonade, iced tea, mocktail, soda, whatever, water. So we'll do 1 drink for each one of these things. We're not going to do any of this 3 drink stuff. So 1 drink when there's a cut scene with a loud noise that's meant to scare you. Oh, Lord. I knew if Reggie stayed out there too long. Guys, pardon me for just 1 moment. The code seemed not to let him outside.
No, they're not. What's wrong? What?
He's out there barking at that dog.
Okay, I'll go get him.
Come here, Sandy. Come on. You need to get out there.
Hey.
Get in here. What is he doing there? Come on. Get your butt in here. Come on. You're ruining my stream. So sorry, guys. This never fails. Like I said, I told Steve not to let the dogs out, especially not Reggie, because we have a crazy dog next door. And I'm sorry if y'all heard me fussing but anyway, we've got a crazy dog next door that, and Sammy's working back here. This is so disruptive.
Yeah, what happened?
Nothing. I am trying to do my stream, Steve.
Is it muted or?
No, it's not muted. I've got these rules up here. I'm reading off the rules. That's what I was
So they can hear you talk right now.
Yes.
Okay.
I told them to excuse me for fussing, but
okay.
So sorry, guys. Again, Steve said you don't have that muted, and I said no because then I would forget to unmute it probably, and then I'd be talking to dead air, basically, or you guys wouldn't hear anything. But so sorry. Maybe things will calm down now, but this always happens every time I get ready to do one. So let me switch back because I see Darren's posting in here. Darren, do you want the link to? Now I know you can't watch things on Tubi, right? So I can, if you want to join me live on the stream, I can put that back in there, and anybody else is um, welcome. Uh, my new keyboard, I love it, but it goes to sleep, and then I have to wait for it to wake back up. So um, let me put the invite in there for anybody that wants to join. Uh, so Darren, I put the link to join live on the stream. Again, you're not required to drink alcohol if you're live on the stream. You can drink whatever or not drink anything at all. So, hey, Texas. Let's see. Hey, Uncle Bill, you say Steve was going to cuss someone out if it wasn't muted. No, I guess he thought, that I should have it muted while I was complaining and carrying on. But I generally don't do that. If I was more professional, yeah, I probably would. But I try to keep these things as laid back as possible. And I just get irritated because every time I get ready to do one on Saturday, after Steve's done his, I try to keep everything quiet. And then I warned him not to let Reggie out because I knew that crazy dog next door would be out around 7 o'clock. And I was right. It's a little bit after 7. He scared the shit out of me yelling back there. He must be playing that wrestling game. And I can see Darren, and I'm going to add him here in just a little bit. I was just trying to make sure I catch up on everybody's chat messages here. So back to the rules here. If you are doing the drinking game. So what we're doing, one drink only for all of these things. There's a cutscene with a loud noise that's meant to scare you and nothing actually happens. The phone rings. You notice how outdated the technology is in the movie. You see the killer's murder weapon. Someone takes a drink or someone references getting drunk. The slutty one does or says something slutty. Or you see a news reporter. And again, we're not doing the 3 drinks. It's staying at 1 drink. Someone trips for no apparent reason when running away. Someone aside from the killer grabs a kitchen knife. A phone doesn't work, whether it's a broken landline or a cell phone with no signal or battery. A car breaks down, crashes, or doesn't start. There's shoddy police work. This includes security guards. Someone warns a character of danger way ahead of time, but they don't listen. Okay, and they want you to do 5 drinks when any of these things happen. Again, we're keeping it to 1 drink only. There's a death before the opening credits, bonus drink for each additional death. The main characters all pack themselves into a Jeep or SUV. There's a shower scene. You see a nipple, add 1 drink for each additional nipple. Someone you thought was dead shows up alive later in the movie. Someone is blanketed on a stretcher. There will be also wild card death drinks. This one is up to you or the group and can range from 1 to 10 sips per kill, which depends on how many you think the slaying in question warranted. So I think we'll just skip the wild card thing and just do the 1 drink each for each one of the things that I mentioned. And if we miss anything, as far as when you're supposed to take a drink, I'm not gonna say, you guys didn't drink. Let's see. Texas says, shut up, this is not a Fulci film. Hey, Rob, you say, LOL, howdy. You tell Steve I said, settle down. Hey, John. John, you say, LOL, I had 2 beers earlier at a burger place. I'm sober for the night. That is fine, John. So I'm going to go ahead and add Darren. If anybody else wants to join in live, you can let me know at any point in time, and I can put the link back in the chat. If anybody needs the link to the movie, again, I can also put that back in the chat as well. So, gonna go ahead and add Darren. Hey, Darren.
Hiya, Dana. Can you hear me?
Yep, hear you real clear.
Oh, right. I was a bit worried because I got new wireless headphones,
Oh,
but I
got
didn't think
you.
they work properly. So I'm
Cool.
testing that, mate.
So, I think you told me already that you wouldn't be drinking again after what happened on New Year's Eve. So,
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I'm not even drinking water to be honest because it's quite late, and I'll
yeah.
end up when I go to the toilet loads of times. So
Well, I'm eating too, so that I'm not just drinking on a empty stomach, which I think would be a better choice to do, so that the food can absorb some of the alcohol. And as I said, it's only watermelon margaritas for me tonight. No hard stuff, no whiskey. So I'm trying to take it easy because Steve has already told me he didn't think doing a drinking game for this horror movie that we're about to watch was a good idea for me. He said it wasn't a good idea. So I'm taking it easy because the last thing I want to be is sick. So I want this to be fun, not not illness inducing or making somebody hung over the next day because we don't want that. Um,
yeah, all in moderation, as they say.
yep, exactly. Rob, you say, wish I could stick around going to see Scream at the drive-in. Wanted to say, hey. Oh, well, I'm glad you stopped by, Rob. I don't know if you were in Steve's stream earlier, but I know Steve talked about us going to see the new Scream today. We went about noon to see it, and I really enjoyed it. I think I liked this one better than I did the last one. I didn't hate the last one, but I think I like this one just a little bit better than the other one. So, um, really, the only one I actively dislike, and I can't really pinpoint why exactly I dislike it, is the fourth Scream. And I don't much care for the third one, but you know, I guess one and two are the big ones for me. And then I've liked these later entries, the last two that they did. So, and I've got my, I said I wasn't going to, but I did order my Scream 6 Ghost Face popcorn bucket. So me and Steve will both be getting one of those when they get released in August. But I was a little, I don't know if perturbed is the word, but Steve said that somebody was showing off. They had already got the ghost face drinking buddies, the little, they almost look like little sippy cups or something. But I didn't really want those anyway. I thought those were kind of lame looking. But I was like, why are they making us wait till August to get these popcorn buckets? Why didn't they just sell them until they sold out at the Cinemark theaters? I don't understand why they just didn't do that. And how in the heck did these people get them early? And Steve said, well, Dana, they probably went to an advanced screening and got them, or somehow they got them. Yeah. And I said, yeah, or they know somebody that works at these theaters or something and figured out a way to get them. I mean, one of the two, but it's kind of unfair. um Either way, if they got them, because the rest of us regular joes are going to have to wait till August to get ours way after the movie's been released. But
So why are they sending them out in August then? I don't get that either.
yeah, I don't. You would think that would be the best advertising for this new Scream movie that they could do if they would, sell them when the movie comes out and they've obviously got them made already if people are getting them early somehow. So it's not like a
Yeah,
manufacturing thing.
that doesn't make a bit of sense at all.
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't understand it, but the movie itself was good. I would recommend anybody that likes the Scream movies to go see it. Let's see.
Yeah, that franchise, I'm pretty hit or miss with it.
Hmm.
I think the first one, I obviously, when the first one came out, I loved it and like everyone else. But over time, I think it's slightly got a bit overrated for me. And I've
Yeah,
become a bit more of a fan of the second one. I liked a lot. Third one, I thought, nah, not really, didn't really like it. Fourth one, I thought was terrible. And I actually quite like five, so I'm going into hopefully C6 now with a bit of optimism. But I did see the Dead Pit review, and
uh,
I usually agree with those guys, so I'm not, I'm going to be apprehensive
right, exactly.
going
Hey, Kelly, I'm betting you're going with Rob to the drive-in. I'd be very surprised if you wasn't going with him to the drive-in to see that movie. Um, Rob, you say I didn't because I was worried about spoilers. Yeah, I was like TJ. I was trying to stay away from any spoilers that could have, messed up the movie watching experience for me. I don't know why people want to spoil movies for other people. I don't know what kind of sick, I don't know, enthusiasm they get from spoiling a movie for people that haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I think they're just assholes. You get them everywhere, don't you? They just want to spoil everyone's fun.
John says Scream 4 sucks ass. So I'm not in the minority here. It doesn't sound like, but Steve likes part 4, and I said there's got to be some kind of sex appeal thing for Steve. I said I'm trying to remember what hot chicks would be in that makes him like it, because usually that's the only thing I can think would make him prefer something when several other people don't like it. But Rob
I
says,
think the blondes come back, and she from part four and part six.
ah, maybe that, maybe,
She had like short hair. Um,
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I didn't really hear him talk much about her, so I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, apparently she looks a bit rough from what Dead Pit was saying. So
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Um, Rob says he wanted for to be better because they filmed it right down the street. Oh wow, yeah. John, you say I didn't mind 6. 5 I maybe liked a little more. Kelly, you said the original Scream was my favorite because it was nostalgic to me. Yeah, the original Scream will always be my favorite of all of those. Rob, you say send me a link to the bucket if you don't mind. Hold on just a second here, Rob. Let me because I know it's the, yeah, come on.
I'm not even sure they have them over here in the UK.
What's that, Darren?
I'm not sure they have the UK those buckets in the UK. I've not
Oh,
heard about anyone having them.
uh-huh.
Maybe wrong, but I don't think they're over here.
Let's see. Rob, I'm posting that in the chat, and anybody, feel free. I think they're doing that until like March 19th, I think, and then the pre-orders close on them. So get your orders in quickly if you want to get one. Rob, you say my guess is they did do that and sold out. That's a possibility, but again, I was a little perturbed because where's that put us regular people when they do that? Hey, 1980s Betamax. You remember back in 1990? I can't tell if you mean 1995. Something about popcorn buckets. I think that's good old Robert Long, isn't it? He's changed his screen name. Texas, you say I saw Cocaine Bear yesterday. How was it, Texas? I haven't gotten to see it yet. Rob, you say, and they saw they were popular, so they're making more. Well, I think they've had this up on the Cinemark site for a while now, at least several weeks, because Steve ordered his, I think, a week or two ago. And then I ordered mine, Friday, I think, when I got paid.
How much do they cost you?
I think with shipping and everything, I think it was about $25.
Oh, okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah, $24.99 or something like that, because the buckets themselves were $19.99, and then I think it was like $4.99 shipping, something like that.
Right, okay.
Rob, you say they sell them to promote the movie, so they start selling a few weeks before it comes out. Yes, 1980s Betamax. I did see Friday the 13th, part 8. Rob, you say, so really, it's kind of cool that they're reprinting them because people were selling them for 200 plus online. I didn't see any for 200 plus, but when I looked on eBay, this one person was selling a cup and the Ghostface popcorn bucket for, I think they wanted like $30 for that, but then they wanted you to pay $29 shipping. I'm like, hell no, I'm not sending $29 shipping. That's ridiculous. The things ain't that heavy that it's going to be $29, and it wasn't even out of the country or anything like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you just know there's going to be people who bought that and like sitting back now thinking, what the fuck, like, you know.
Exactly. That's exactly what.
You will always get, you know, stupid people who will do things like that, you know.
And then
Spoil it really, you know, for the rest of
you'll
us.
get even sillier people that'll actually pay the money for it. But
Exactly, yeah. It just makes the prices of certain things go higher, and yeah.
hey, Afro, John, you say I love 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 are all good in ways, but not the best. 4, I just hate so bad. LOL. I don't know if I hate it, but I don't care for it and have no urge at all to ever watch that one again. Oh, Kelly, you say who's the little hound dude in the background? He's so cute. Well, Brandon's way back there in the dark, but I bet you saw Sammy. He's my younger tricolor basset. That he was walking around here. He is a cutie pie, but he's got a big mouth on him though.
So I got to ask the question, Dana.
Sure.
Have you seen? Did you see the comeback earlier, or
I'm
you
gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight in preparation for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
I'm hoping that you really like it, seeing as I suggested it.
I think I'm gonna like it because most Pete Walker stuff I do like. So I think
I think he will. I'm not so sure whether Steve will do it well, but I would go on. Yeah, I think you will. But I'll go on record to say I think you will.
It was funny though in connection with Steve and that movie. He was getting it confused with Schizo. He was like, "Wasn't that the one about the girl's father and stuff?" And I said, "No, Steve, that was Schizo." We totally different movie from the comeback.
Yeah, it get kind of confusing, a few of them, because you've got House of Whipcord as well, and you've got Die Screaming Marianne.
Yeah.
They all come over the same sort of period, so it can get a bit mixed up.
And I think all those are on that Pete Walker set that Wes gave to me a while back. That's why I have several of those, thanks to Wes. So Texas.
Yeah, they're all like
Oh,
all worth, varying in quality. Sorry, Dana, go on.
oh, that's okay. I'm just reading through that. I promise, guys, we're gonna get started here in just a little bit. Texas said I liked it a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. John, you say, yeah, I thought the subway scene was really good. I loved how it was shot. There was, and I'm not going to give anything away because I know there's still people that haven't seen it. I just want to warn you, there was one scene in the movie that I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I'll talk more about it when I know that people have actually seen it. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. I don't know what that guy's name is, but because I can't read that writing, but hello to you. Oh Lord, this guy's talking about he'd love to have a girlfriend. Well, dude, I don't think you're gonna find a girlfriend in here because I think most of it are pretty much all the ladies that are in here are either married or involved. So I don't think you're going to find a girlfriend in here. Sorry about that. Texas, you say Schizo is so great. Yeah, I love Schizo. I think Schizo was the one that got me really into Pete Walker. It was like my introduction to Pete Walker. I was like, I really like this guy's style.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more goes on in Schizo than it does in the comeback. But I think with the comeback, it's kind of a slow burn. But when it does, I won't give anything away on it. But when we do see the scenes, of violence and what have you, I think they're well worth watching.
Well, I
But be
trust.
prepared because it might be a slower burn. That's all.
Oh, I don't mind that because sometimes I like those slow burns, especially when I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's going to lead up to something good. John, you say
Oh yeah.
it made me want to rewatch Jason Takes Manhattan. I'm guessing that subway scene. Yeah, that would do it. Hammer time, Dana. uh, Uncle Bill says, Darren, that you're all the way back in the road. I think Darren was just relaxing as I was blabbing here.
Yeah, because I got wireless headphones, it makes it easier to get more comfortable. But I'm kind of sat on the. I need to get something where I can get the camera and everything a bit closer. I'm in my living room.
Afro says, LOL. Is UB gonna hook the weirdo in the chat up with Princess Puffins? I don't know. I don't want to call the guy a weirdo yet, just yet. I mean, it's okay if you said that, Afro, but I hope he's not in here for the sole purpose of finding a girlfriend because we have very nice ladies in these chats and stuff, but I don't think this is the appropriate place to try to pick up women. They might want to try another outlet to do that.
Yeah, there's plenty on the internet, so I'm sure they'll find something.
Uncle Bill says, I'll date you, buddy. You already got somebody, Uncle Bill. Texas says, Frightmare is my favorite Pete Walker film. I like Frightmare as well. I like
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite as well. Yeah, kind of like a UK Texas Chainsaw Massacre type, film.
Let's see here. Let me Johnny said, "No, I just mean because they showed it in the movie on TV. That's not too much spoilers. I hope, huh?" Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. They did. I don't think that's a spoiler, really, John. That's one of those kind of those aha moments. Like, oh yeah. Now, something I think I saw on the movie, and this is not a spoiler, is when one guy goes into his apartment. I could have sworn there was a little, piece of paper about yay big that had Ice Nine Kills on it, which is that band that does a lot of the horror movie related music. I don't know how many of y'all have listened to Ice Nine Kills, but I think that was on the refrigerator in the apartment. Kelly's asking you, Darren, what time is it there for you? I'm not quite sure where you are.
Right. So yeah, it's 20 to 1 coming up too. I
Golly.
know the clocks go forward for yourself, don't they, later?
Yeah,
Which
Steve
means that
hates that.
yeah, it means that we're doing the Euro Cup tomorrow an hour earlier, so I got to remember that. But it's fine, I think. So the Euro Cup podcast will be done at 2 my afternoon in my time.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's pretty easy to remember. And then funny enough, hours goes forward in like 2 weeks. I'm not sure why that is the difference, but
Yeah, it seems a little strange, but oh well. I just roll with it anymore. So guys,
yeah, yeah.
I think we're gonna go ahead and get started with the watch along and the drinking game. If you are participating, again, if anybody wants to join at any point in time with me and Darren live here on the stream, you do not have to participate in drinking anything if you don't want to. You can just talk about the movie if you want. And as long as it's not 2 minutes before the end of the movie or 30 seconds or something like that, I'll be glad to have anybody on here. Now, I know Rob and Kelly are getting ready to go to the movies, and so they won't be here the whole time. So I've got,
Yeah, hopefully someone jumps on and we can get the more the merrier, really.
yeah, that's what I say too, Darren. Now,
And
I've
even
got,
if you got to like just the microphone, just jump on in it. Even
oh,
if
yeah, yeah, you don't, I know what Wes says, but you don't have to come on the video if you don't want to. So I've got mine queued up on Tubi to the Concord Presents, and I'm going to make sure
yeah,
I
yeah.
mute
I
this.
got the old DVD, so it should be
I have
fine.
a DVD too, and there was a Blu-ray that came out a while back, but sadly I missed out on it. I think Scorpion put it out.
I can't imagine what the difference would be to Blu-ray with this film because it's so. I don't know. I thought it was. It's not shot on video, but it's
Right.
definitely old.
So this is evidently from Shout Factory TV, this version that I'm watching on Tubi. So let me go back here real quick. Oh, John said he would, but he's going to Target in a few, but I'm watching some. So can everybody let me know if you're all queued up and ready to go for those of you that are going to be watching tonight? Just let me
How
know.
long is your version, Dina? Sorry.
Let's see here. Let me go back to it. I believe mine's an hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah, that's the same one then. Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
not a very long movie by any means.
I've not seen this in such a long time. I can't remember anything about it
Oh,
before.
really? So this will be like watching it
Yeah.
fresh for you. So it's cool. Oh, Texas says I have the Scorpion Blu-ray or Code Red. I fucked up, mistakenly got that instead of the MVD version. Ah, gotcha.
Oh, right. So there's an MVD version. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. So let's see. I see 1980s Batamax. He says everything's all right with me. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started because it is 7:44 here now, and it's getting ever later on Darren's side of the pond. So I don't want to keep him really super late. So I'm going to do the 3, 2, 1, and then hit play. So 3, 2, 1. Press play. And as I said, we're watching the Concord Presents, but now we've got the front of the Sorority house with Angela O'Neill's name there and Wendy Martell.
God, I tell you how bad this DVD is. It's in full screen.
Oh.
Picture doesn't look too bad, but
I haven't watched my DVD in a long time. I usually just watch it on whatever streaming service it's got. I think Shudder may have it now.
yeah, I think this is just a basic deal. Let me grab it a minute. So I don't know if you can see that. Just a basic DVD. Nothing special. No extras or nothing.
Mm-mm.
So how many of these did they actually make then? Because like wasn't like Hard to Die like an official one?
Yeah,
Maybe part 3.
yeah. But the thing about you guys may like the ones after this one, um, but I didn't care for them. I mean, I have some of them, but I didn't much care for them because I thought all they were playing on with those was just showing girls in the shower rubbing their boobs, soaping up their boobs, and there's girls showing their boobs, or at least one girl showing her boobs in this one. Well, several of the girls are showing their breast in one scene, but it doesn't seem to just focus completely on that. And I just prefer this one a lot better than like Hard to Die, or I think what was it? Sorority House Massacre 2 was like one version of that, and then Hard to Die was like a it was similar. It had a lot of the same girls in it, but it was taking place in a high rise or something like that. I don't know. It
Yeah, I
was,
think it's like an official remake, if
yeah.
I remember rightly. But now, actually putting this on now, I can slightly remember some things about it. And like you said, I think it's more of a proper slasher movie than obviously you get the TNA like you said, but for now, like it's bringing back memories of I quite enjoyed it if I remember rightly.
I don't think Steve much cares for this one, but I bet he would watch part 2 and Hard to Die. There'd be no doubt
Right.
about that. So this
I've got
movie,
Part 2 on DVD, but I don't think Hard to Die ever got a release of it, apart from VHS.
mhm,
I think I got a
this
copy DVD.
this movie may be a little confusing to people that have never seen it, or in Darren's case, it may be confusing because he hadn't seen it for a while. Um, Especially if you're watching it without the sound or something. If you are watching with the sound, that's cool. Um, but you see flashbacks to a little girl, and then you see this girl is coming to the sorority house, and evidently she's been away, and now she's come back. And we find out it's because her aunt raised her and her aunt passed away. And so she had to leave school, I guess, for the funeral and stuff. And then she's coming back and she's thinking about joining this sorority where all her friends are at.
Yeah, there was so many of these made round about the same time. We got Slumber Party. What's that one that on the DVD? It's like a double DVD with Terror, Ten Killer. Is it Last Slumber Party?
Mm-hmm.
And they all sort of run together with one another.
Right.
They all got the same sort of feel, haven't they? The same look about them.
Yeah, I think so too. So now,
Sometimes it's hard, to try and remember which is which. Sorry.
oh, that's okay. So now, we're having a dream sequence where Beth, this girl here, in her dream, she comes across these three girls playing in the yard of the sorority house. And she really doesn't know who these girls are at this point. But we're going to slowly figure out what the connection is between Beth and the sorority house. And remember those initials, the LBH that you're seeing there on the house, and it was also on Beth's suitcase. You can tell I've seen these movies way too many times because I can pick out all this stuff.
Do you know what year this was made in?
86, I believe.
Oh, right. Yeah, just after the slasher boom. Then.
So I guess I need to take a drink because I'm seeing how outdated some of the technology is, the old TVs and stuff like that. I always thought that this was an eerie shot of the dolls or the mannequins at the dinner table.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought this was a genius shot.
It definitely looks more classier than all the sequels. It actually looks quite a well-made film from the opening few minutes.
Mm-hmm. Now we're seeing some blood dripping, and I think this just adds to the creepiness. I mean, this movie was filmed very, very well, I think, for such a low budget.
Yeah, do you know who directed it?
I know it was a woman because I think a woman directed pretty much all of these, but I'm not sure about the ones where the girls were soaping up their boobs and stuff. But I do know Slumber Party Massacre was directed by a woman. And
Right.
that
Yeah, I
had a
think
big,
Ross Kineski done a few, didn't he? Maybe Hard to Die.
maybe
Ross
so, yeah.
Kineski. Might be wrong.
You're probably right on that, Darren. That sounds about right. It may have been, gosh, I don't know.
But Jim Malinowski, was it? I don't know why that name
Yeah,
kept coming to me.
yeah, that sounds right.
Anybody know, just put it in the chat. It's crazy because they come onto these chats and you don't realize, like, I never usually forget things, but all of a sudden when you're on camera, you're talking on the chat and things just go from your mind completely, which you like an hour after the chat, was probably kicking yourself, thinking, "Why the hell didn't I know that at the time?"
Now, the director of this one was Carol Frank, so it was a woman. I was pretty sure
Right, okay.
did this one. These dream sequences, I think all the dream sequences that Beth has in this movie are very well shot.
I like the lighting as well. It's got a bluish tint to it. It's really nice lighting.
And I don't remember like this girl here that's got the fruit all over her dress. I don't recall her being in any other, horror movies or anything, but maybe she was. Um, and of course, I'm going to have some commercials in there. So um, hopefully it won't put me too far behind Darren.
I thought Steve had the non-commercial one where you don't.
Well, he does like if we're watching it through the TV, but if I'm
Oh, right, okay.
online, yeah, unfortunately.
I could always pause it when you have a break.
So I'm at the part where the blonde girl is putting on her shirt. She's buttoning her shirt up.
Yeah, I'm at that part anyway.
One thing, we're not going to see any cell phones in this movie. Oh, there's a nipple. Actually, two nipples. I'm trying to remember all the rules here for when I need to drink.
Oh, look at those fashions, man. You don't get fashions like down there, do you?
No. I mean, I think the stuff's cute. I don't think I ever wore anything with fruit on it though.
No, it's pretty loud.
And I don't think I wore anything like what Beth's got on either.
Yeah, how the hell does that? Don't even go together, do they? Really? They're like pink with. I don't know, it's very strange.
And then the blonde, she looks like she's going to work in an office or something.
This Lee girl reminds me a bit of Courtney Cox back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah. There's a lot of dangly jewelry, like it's almost just shy of being gaudy. The amount of, dangly jewelry and bracelets and stuff that they have. So this is supposed to be a mental hospital, and I'm not expecting all of them to be like just insanely crazy acting, but some of those guys that are sitting around, just playing cards and stuff, they just look like they're just regular people just sitting around there playing games.
Yeah, it probably cost a bit too much to go into like a proper one, proper asylum.
So I'm not sure at what point that the girl with all the fruit on her outfit that her earrings changed. But when I was rewatching this recently, um, I noticed that her earrings kind of change between scenes, and I don't know if they've already switched or not.
That's probably a continuity error, I would imagine.
I'm betting it was, but I had never noticed it before, but just here recently I noticed it. And a lot of these movies during this time period seem to have that Halloween vibe going on through them. For instance, here coming up, we're going to see a scene where Beth, um, they're talking about, well, a Nightmare on Elm Street feel as well. Beth is in, I guess, an English class, and they're talking about the book Back to Brazil, and basically she sees a knife come up through her desk, and it's very reminiscent to me of Halloween, like when it's this scene actually of both Halloween and A Nightmare on Elm Street. When Lori is sitting in class in Halloween and she sees Michael Myers out the window, um, this is kind of similar to that, and also see because she sees him outside the window, then the knife comes up through her desk, which seems like a Nightmare on Elm Street type of thing. So we kind of had both things in there.
Yeah, they all seem to have, a scene with a kid in school and something going on in the background. Like you say, you're just ripping on the Halloween.
Now, this guy here, her boyfriend, seems sort of nerdy and stuff, but this is awful what he talks about separating the mother cat from her kittens and then killing the kittens just to do a test. And okay, so her earrings have changed from the other scene. Now she's got kind of small fruit where she had big.
Right.
It was a lot bigger earlier.
The actual place, like the street they're on, I don't know if I'm a little bit ahead of you, but yeah, it's got that Halloween vibe. I don't know where this was shot. I don't know a lot about America myself, but it's kind of got that vibe. Yeah, it looks very similar to, is it Pasadena? Or,
I'm betting it is somewhere. It's got to be somewhere in California. Now I love that girl, the girl that just came out there in the pink dress. I love that dress. That is like I love dresses anyway, but that is just the perfect sundress, I think.
so what time stamp are you at now, Dina?
17 minutes and 18 seconds.
All right, I'm only like 10 seconds ahead.
Maybe I'll get lucky and I won't have too many commercials in here.
I can see why a lot of people do highly regard this film actually compared to the others.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely got, a more classier kind of outlook and
I was looking at what John put in here. He said, LOL. Yeah, part two is like the booby bungalow. It's basically a Cinemax movie. Yes. Part two of
right,
this,
yeah.
yes. Definitely Skinemax all the way there. Um, Kelly, I have made my own rum punch before. Actually, I made me a couple of rum punches. Was it last week or so? But I try not to go too heavy on the booze on those. But I love any like fruity like drinks. Those are absolutely my favorite. That and Fireball whiskey. Um, yeah, Uncle Bill, I think somebody else told me that Sam Raimi's going to be at the Lexington Comic Con. But Wes basically told me not to hold my breath because he says, he'll cancel, right? And I said, well, I'll hope that he doesn't cancel. And until somebody tells me he has canceled, I won't believe it. Are you serious, Uncle Bill? He's charging $75 for autographs. Man, I don't
That's
know.
just
I would I
ridiculous.
would just like to get a picture with him, really. It's like I told Steve, there might be probably less than a handful of people that I care about getting autographs. I think in the last few years for me, it's been about meeting the person and getting a picture with them. And I'm not saying I haven't gotten things signed because I have, but sometimes I just get a picture with them. And unless they're offering just a good deal um, on, a combo type of thing. Um, so you're thinking
He's
about going?
obviously not short of money, is he? Sorry, Dina. He's
Oh,
obviously not short of money. So why would he charge that? It's just ripping off the fans. I think it's terrible. It should be all about him, meeting the fans, whatever level. He just doesn't need the money. Quite obviously, I don't know if he's giving it to charity. Maybe that could be the case,
I mean, that would
but I
be a
highly
little
doubt it.
bit, yeah, that would be a little bit easier to swallow if he was giving it
Yeah.
to charity or something. Um, okay, we'll see you later, Afro. You're headed off to see Scream 6 again, but this time in wonderful 3D. So this is gonna be your second viewing. Cool. Well, yeah, in retrospect, yeah, Uncle Bill, you say that's actually cheap compared to everyone else there. Um, you say there's a photo op with him and Ted for $105. I might consider doing that. Then I've got a picture of me with Ted Raimi, but I don't know. It depends on if I can get Steve to go. But I think if Sam Raimi's going to be there, he knows how much I love Sam Raimi. I think he would probably take me. So um, I don't know. I may change my mind. It depends on how some of those photo ops are just so, in my opinion, cheesy. And I'm not putting anybody down for doing photo ops, but and a lot of them are just outrageously priced. Like you can get the whole cast from a certain movie if you want to pay $300 to $500 or something, and I'm just like, why? Why would we do that? Yeah, uh, Uncle Bill, I get it. You say I'm going, fuck it. There's not too many of the big guys left. Yeah, you're right about that. Of course, Steve will probably want to kill me if I spend $75 or more, but
See, if it's like a holy grail, which it obviously is for yourself and Uncle Bill, then fair enough. I think pay it. Obviously, it is a lot of money. But there's only a certain amount of people I would pay to see. I think like Argento, I think I spoke
right.
before, Argento would be one of them. So yeah, if you know it's going to be like a one-time thing, then and you're a massive fan, then obviously you're going to do it.
Uncle Bill, you say you don't care about a photo, just want him to sign my Evil Dead poster. Well, sadly, and this is really sad, me being the Evil Dead chick and everything, I don't have an original Evil Dead poster. I have an Evil Dead poster, but it's not an original one. I would love to have one, but probably at this point in time, I probably couldn't afford one. But
God, how much do you think one of them would set you back now? Then, I
I'm almost scared to look.
yeah, yeah. What 500 maybe? I don't know.
I mean,
Possibly more.
maybe I'll bite the bullet and get on eBay and take a look, take a gander, and see what they're going for.
I tell you what I would usually do, and maybe have a look at the foreign posters, the German or something like that. You might be able to get really cheap, and maybe go that way about it.
Might not be a bad
Because
idea.
some of the originals, you just, you know. But I can remember a time on eBay where you could get all these for next to nothing.
Oh
And I
yeah.
managed to get in on it just about for, I don't know, 5 years or so. So I was lucky enough to get a lot of one sheets and quad posters really cheap. But then all of a sudden, once, the late 2000s, 2010s maybe, um, prices just become, you can't buy anything now and get a bargain really on anything.
Hmm.
eBay just screws you as well, as a seller as well, and finding out.
I just noticed there was a sign back there by the bed that says no hunting. That kind of seemed out of place, but I took a couple of drinks because I think when I was looking at the chat, I know I missed some nipple shots there because I know a couple of those girls took their tops off.
I didn't catch it earlier. What are you drinking actually? Uh,
I am drinking watermelon margaritas, but I'm trying to
right.
take it really easy. And I'm not drinking anything harder than margaritas tonight because I don't want to be sick.
Oh, that's fine. Even beer would be okay, but it's just so short. Yeah,
Yeah.
not good.
Now, as a reminder, I will be doing another watch along for night school tomorrow at 6 Eastern time. So 6 p.m. that is, not 6 in the morning. I probably won't be up at 6 in the morning. I'll probably still be asleep.
Yeah, I remember last week I messaged you about night school about 15 minutes. I thought I was all ready to do it.
Uh,
And then I realised then that you didn't have no power or anything. So,
yeah, but I'm glad that you said something to me, Darren, because I had forgotten that I didn't post anything to Facebook telling people, "Hey, there's no bonus watch along tonight because I still don't have power."
yeah, that's understandable that you didn't do that really. Don't, not everyone would think of that.
I think the brunette there, the one that had the fruit outfit on, I think she's cute. She might not be like movie star glamorous, but I think she's cute though. See, here's another thing. He steals a station wagon. That's very reminiscent of Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that they've taken little bits of different films and put them in and see, come up with this. I'm surprisingly enjoying this better than I thought I would, to be honest.
Oh, that's good. You can definitely tell this is an 80s movie by looking at the fashions. I mean, the fashions alone. Okay, so we see a sign here for Los Angeles. So it definitely has got to be somewhere in California. And the streets, as Darren said, look very similar to Halloween. So if it isn't the same area, it's probably close to that area where Halloween was filmed.
I'm coming up to 29 minutes now. So
I'm almost to 29. I'm 28:48.
right, okay.
So I probably need to take another drink because that was kind of a loud noise that made people jump, but nothing happened. One thing I don't ever remember, of course, I was still quite young in 86. You know, I wasn't old enough to have a boyfriend or anything like that. But the one girl, the brunette there with the wild shirt on, she calls the blonde girl's boyfriend a slug. And I had never heard guys that did stupid stuff like not wanting to stay around with their girlfriends. I never heard them referred to as a slug.
I've never used that either.
There she goes again, a slug, a major slug. Here's some more outdated technology.
Yeah, just by looking at the fashions, you can probably even pinpoint it to like the mid 80s.
Yeah, with all the pinks and bright yellows and all of that.
Do you know if the director made any more films? The lady director?
I'm not really sure. Let's see. You can probably find out. Carol Frank was also the writer of the movie. Let's see. She was she didn't direct Slumber Party Massacre, but she was on additional crew for it.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
She was assistant to the director on Slumber Party Massacre. I'm guessing the only film she was a director on was Sorority House Massacre, the one we're watching now. She was on the crew for a movie called Summer Spell. If
Never used
anybody's
that
seen
one.
that, from 1983.
I can see the similarities with Slumber Party Massacre though.
Oh yeah. There was another gruesome shot where John's telling the story, and you go back and you see, or it flashes back and you see that this guy killed his family, a family that lived in this house before it became the sorority house. And it seems that Beth is having a really strong reaction to the story that's being told.
Yeah, they all seem to have one of these. Like it's almost like the campfire, scenes in the Burning and Friday the 13th. They
Uh,
kind of every slasher movie seems to have something like similar.
So the one girl all in pink is obviously getting bored by the story and wants to kind of do something else, like watch. I think they say, let's watch some tube.
So did you say earlier whether Steve is a fan of it? I wouldn't have
I,
thought so.
I don't think he's a fan of this one. Now, if you were to tell him, oh, hey, let's watch Sorority House Massacre 2 or Hard to Die, he'd be all up for that. But this one, I think this one's probably bottom tier for him. He
Right,
doesn't
yeah.
like this one like I do. And you have all the typical slasher movie tropes with people being in the dark and somebody coming up behind them and scaring them, which it's happened several times to Beth. And then this happens too when John comes back downstairs. Andy kind of jumps him and scares him. So we do have a lot of jump scares in this movie.
I wonder what that film they're watching on the TV was.
I think that I wanted to say they're watching Slumber Party Massacre because this
Right, yeah.
coach
Yeah.
opens the closet and the cat jumps out. Oh, there's some more outdated technology with that old answering machine.
You can see as well in this that they're going more like not your traditional slasher where you've got like a kill every few minutes. They're probably going more for like suspense as well.
Right.
Which kind of sets it apart to the others.
Yeah, there was nobody getting killed before the opening credits. It some people may find it boring. They may find this setup boring because it does take a little while before actual slashing starts happening or killing start happening.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people like if they haven't got a kill every 5-10 minutes, they're like their mind just goes somewhere else. And
Mm,
but I've always been like yourself, we've watched. I think we've watched every 80 slasher known to man, haven't we?
right.
And I can deal with the pacing, even though they're slow on some of them. You just get used to it. It's something I don't mind. I quite like some of them doing that.
I think they
Don't
used.
get me wrong, Go on, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say they used to call that the MTV generation that
Yeah,
had to have
yeah,
things happening really quickly. But I consider myself part of that MTV generation. And Darren, you probably consider yourself part of that MTV generation too. And Steve, I mean, several of us can recall when music videos were king pretty much. When everybody was watching, they were watching Madonna music videos and some of these
yeah,
other big bands at the time, um, the heavy metal or the hard rock bands and all that. Everybody was waiting for the next big music video they were going to put out. But I don't feel like because of that, I expected a movie to move any faster. I think young people now expect expect them to all be ultra gory. They probably wouldn't even think Fulci was gory or Argento was gory. They've got to have something like Terrifier 2 where it's just very over the top. with the gore. Um, and I think that
Yeah, yeah.
again, oh Curly Jaws and the generations that have come after him, I think those are the ones that expect or they get bored if there's not something happening all the time. I don't think there's any way for very many of them to appreciate films like this.
Oh God, there's no way that any of them would watch this. They'd
No.
be out of this within 5 minutes. You know,
And
there's
granted,
like stuff like the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre
right.
and stuff like that. You know, where you just got go coming at you.
Hmm.
Um, but sorry, what was you about to say?
Um, I was going to say that I have been a little shocked at some things that O'Curly Jaws is like saying he likes Psycho really well. And there have been a couple of other things that I was really, really shocked that he liked and enjoyed. I think I was thinking that he said he liked The Burning really well as
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
and that shocked me too because I just, I could not believe. Oh, Curly Jaws likes this stuff. He likes Psycho. He likes The Burning. I mean, very surprising to me.
maybe watching your channel is maybe rubbing off on him a little bit and getting to, come
I
to
would,
our sort of taste.
I would like to take credit for it, but I don't think I really can.
But then again, Psycho's just a classic in whoever, a kid of 10 could watch Psycho now and they'd probably be impressed.
Hmm. One movie that I can't remember how you feel about this movie, Darren, but George Romero's original Night of the Living Dead. Steve does not like that movie, but a lot of
Really?
people love that movie. I mean, Uncle Bill loves that movie. I love it, and I could,
It's a classic, you
yeah,
know. I remember that's one of the earliest films they ever shown on BBC back, going back when I was really young.
right.
Black and white, start black and white late at night, the
Oh
best way
yeah,
to watch it really. I'll probably get jumped on for this, but as you know, I'm not a big fan of Dawn of the Dead, the
right.
original.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, to me, see, that movie bores me, and I just can't.
Uh,
I tried. It's one of those films I want to love, and I tried, and I'm a big fan of Argento, so I tried the Argento cut, which I like slightly a little bit better, but it
there
still
was
doesn't work for me.
somebody else that maybe it's Dirk that called it Yawn of
Dirt as
the
well,
Dead.
yeah,
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 and I can get that, but I always like, I'm like Uncle Bill about Dawn of the Dead too as well. But I think I'm not saying this is the only reason why me and Uncle Bill both like Dawn of the Dead, but both of us have good memories of watching it with our dads. Like I've heard
right,
Uncle
yeah,
Bill talk about having good memories of watching Dawn of the Dead with his dad. I kind of introduced my dad to Dawn of the Dead. It wasn't like the reverse thing. I was like, Dad, have you ever seen Dawn of the Dead? And he's like, no. And so Dad didn't have anything else to do that particular day. So I just put the movie in and we sat there and watched it. And Dad liked the whole movie until the very end. And then he said, well, that was kind of dumb. He said they just got in a helicopter and flew away.
right.
He
With
was
me, with
like,
Dawn of the Dead, it's one of those films, but I think everybody's got one of these films where you go back to it regularly, hoping that one day it will click, and it
"Mm,
never does for me. And it's not like I don't, because I love Day of the Dead. That's
yeah.
probably my favorite of the series. Night of the Living Dead, obviously, I love that as well. But I don't know. Maybe one day it will click. Maybe when I'm 60 or 70 years old. You never know.
And if it doesn't, I mean, I don't think that anything's wrong with anybody if they don't like Dawn of the Dead. I'm surprised that Steve doesn't like Night of the Living Dead when he pretty much likes Dawn of the Dead. He likes Day of the Dead. And I'm just like, well, But the classic, the original, the one that started it all, kind of pretty much kicked off George Romero's career. I mean, I just don't understand why he doesn't like that one. But I've
Yeah,
been before.
probably. I think like yourself and Uncle Bill, I think when you talk about it, it's probably inspired more films than anything
Mhm.
to ever come. And then you've got like, certainly with all the zombie films, you obviously had Halloween there and Black Christmas inspired the slasher film. But
Right.
I really enjoy Not Living Dead. I think the black and white just gives it just a great atmosphere. And yeah, I'm surprised Steve doesn't get on with
He
that
he
film. Really,
actively
uh,
tells me he doesn't want to watch Night of the Living Dead. I think he's seen it maybe once or twice. He says,
right, that could be it then.
yeah,
Maybe. Well, I was going to say maybe he's watched it too much, but if we say he's only watched it once or twice, it can't
I
be
don't
that.
think he's watched it very
Um,
many times. He just says it just doesn't do it for him. It just, I think he maybe thinks
right.
that one's kind of boring. Um, I don't know if I brought this up before, but like the first Cinema Wasteland convention I went to long before I met Dead Pit or any of the other friends that I have now, I was kind of, I went to this convention with my brother and my sister-in-law. Only she wasn't my sister-in-law yet, but her and I don't I don't think they were married yet. I think they were living together. People say, "Oh, they're living in sin." But anyway, they were living together at the time. They hadn't gotten married yet. But we all went, or they offered to take me because they really wanted to stay in a hotel. That was fun for them. But they did go to the convention with me. But I didn't know anybody that went to conventions at that time. So even if there had been any of the people that I talk to now there, I wouldn't have known them. But anyway, I met Kyra Scone or Sean or however you pronounce her last name, the woman that was a little girl in Night of the Living Dead, the one that turned and then took the trowel
All right.
to her mother. I met her at that first Cinema Wasteland I went to. She was really nice. And she had trowels on her table with the image of her face on there, and she would sign them for you. Um, and sadly, my trowel that I had, here's a word of warning for you collectors. Don't ever set anything that could have liquid in it on top of something like a trowel that's been signed by somebody. Because what happened was there was condensation or the bottle leaked or something and it messed up the autograph. And I was like, oh man, I've had this thing for several years and then this happens to me. So just a word of warning there. Don't do that. Don't do what I did.
I take it she's still alive, though, is she?
I believe so, yes.
Right. You might get a chance again, then you never know.
So here's a dangerous thing they do. I'm going back to the movie now. They hypnotize Beth to try to figure out what is bothering her. Why is she having these nightmares and stuff? And they couldn't get her to wake up for a little bit. That's why I would never want to hypnotize anybody, even if I knew how to do that.
I don't think I like. I've had a hypnotist trying to hypnotize me, and he couldn't do it.
Oh,
I don't think I
really?
could relax in there. Yeah. Because we used to, they used to come round. We'd have like, because I used to play a bit of pool, and we'd have a pool presentation like where you get your trophies, and then you'd have like a hypnotist act come on. So
Hmm.
we tried to hypnotize the whole audience, and then you had a few that, like one of my friends was under, straight under, just like that. So, but I don't think I could relax enough to do it. Um,
I would
I don't
probably.
know whether I'd want to. Would you want to though? Because
I
they
don't
can
think so.
dive into your thoughts.
I don't know. I'm almost not that I think I've got any really bad skeletons in the closet or anything, but I just don't want somebody making me that susceptible because what if they, not on purpose, but what if they somehow put some kind of false memories in your head or something, and then when you came to yourself, maybe those false memories might stick with you and you might think they're real. You're playing with
Yeah,
somebody's brain there, and that's kind of dangerous to me.
yeah, they were a big thing going back in the like early 90s. You don't hear so much of them now,
Mm. Well, I know
so I wouldn't.
people that, I think at one time, people that wanted to quit smoking or quit drinking and things like that, they would go to these people and they would put them under. I don't know if that ever
Yeah,
worked or not, but
I don't even know. Yeah, maybe it worked. I don't know whether it worked for a long period of time,
mhm.
whether it just wears off or whatever. But in terms of that, I suppose they're good. But no, I would not want that.
I don't know what happened, but it just closed out the Tubi thing on me. Uh-oh. Well,
Oh, that pause mode.
maybe I'll get it back on there and then I'll try to get caught up here.
I paused mine on 50 minutes.
Okay.
Don't know if I have.
I don't know what in the heck happened there, but that wasn't. Let's see if I can get that back. Okay. What's your timestamp now, Darren? I'm trying to get mine caught up.
Mine's on 50 minutes, 20 seconds.
Okay. There we go. So he's slicing through the. He's
Yeah,
slicing through
dead on.
there.
Let me know when you start. I know.
Okay, so now I've got it where the girls are talking. They're laying in bed.
Okay.
Now we're back to the slashing of the tent. Mm. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, this isn't overly gory, but this guy that's doing the killing is very aggressive.
Yeah. For some reason I can't get the subs on here. I don't think there's any subs on the DVD.
I think I've got it on here, maybe. Yeah, this one does. I just now noticed it does have it. Well, there was not a nipple, but there was male ass there. Um, that guy came running through. Oh, time to take another drink because the phone line got cut.
You almost see like complete male nudity there. Wow, right?
Oh
Almost.
yeah, really close. Yeah, this dude's cutting all the phone lines.
It's not that much TNA though from the women in this film, is that really?
No, and another thing is you see some female nudity, but in this, I don't think there's one character that you could consider slutty in this one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Which is unusual too, because even in these early films, even with Slumber Party Massacre, there was a character that was considered slutty. I think the Diane character in Slumber Party Massacre, she was pretty.
Yeah,
The character was slutty. Uh, But I don't know if you know this, Darren, but the shot where it's supposed to be Diane's breast that we see when she's in the car with her boyfriend, that is actually not her breast. She didn't want to do a topless shot or a breast shot. So that's Michelle Michaels' breast in that
Right. Okay.
shot.
I wonder where, like I mentioned earlier, it's got like a really nice blue tint. I wonder what the inspiration was behind that because I can't think of that many films. Maybe um, Argento's Inferno. I can't think of that many films with like a really strong blue tint.
I mean, Halloween, there's some versions of Halloween that have a blue.
Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe, yeah. Maybe that was the inspiration, but it works well. I really like it. I
Uh-huh.
would imagine it will pop like really nicely on a Blu-ray rather, because I thought when I first started watching the DVD, I thought it was just going to be a really shitty old
Right.
print. Like, but it's not that bad. It's
No. And I think this version I'm watching, that's a Shout Factory TV version, must be an HD version of it because it looks pretty good.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether the director or anyone did any interviews with it, just to see, behind the scenes or whatever.
Hmm.
It's not going to break my top 50 or top 100 slasher film or anything like that. But it's definitely, well made, you know, a decent, well made, watchable film.
Hmm.
And notice the gore and that now starting, they've amped it up a little bit now towards the end.
Right. And this scene here where they're kind of barricading themselves in one room and they're hollering to try to get the other people to, wake up or whatever. Um, Sorority House Massacre, Slumber Party Massacre, both of 1 and 2 are like that, where we have several characters in one room.
Oh God, look at those posters at the back as well. I've got a Johnny Lydon one and a Bruce Springsteen one.
Yeah.
Would someone who likes Bruce Springsteen like the Sex Pistols? I wouldn't have thought so, but
Yeah. I didn't notice where they got the pants that would fit that guy because I figured there's just girls' clothes in there, but those they look like male lounge pants, so they don't look like girls' clothes. Or sweatpants or something.
this does not look like a good idea at all, from what I can see. It's Glenn Burnley.
No, nobody can hear you, Sarah, because there's never anybody around. Either that or they just ignore you because they think you're playing pranks.
It's got to be 20 years since I've seen it. It's got to be.
Wow.
Uh oh.
This never works out well.
The killer kind of looks like the one from Final Exam there for a minute.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah.
I don't know whether it's just a silhouette or.
Oh.
Yeah, never good. Abandoned the ladders now.
This is kind of funny though because she couldn't tell that wasn't Craig down there. I don't think it's that dark out there.
No. That Phantom of the Opera poster there, long change doing it.
Oh, I didn't notice that before.
Just seen the corner of it.
That's kind of a Halloween thing there too, because people always assume that they're dead. You know, if they fall and land on the ground, oh, they must be dead.
Yeah, now we're getting into like proper slasher territory now.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while, didn't it? But now it is.
There's another commercial here or ad thing.
Okay, I'll pause it. I'm bang on an hour now, and 42 seconds.
Okay. Oh, come on, ad. This one's a little bit longer than. I got a bonus. I got 2 ads this time.
Oh, God, I hate it when that happens. YouTube's the worst for that for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right if you're there and you've got the controls in your hands. Say you're doing something and you've got YouTube on your headphones, you've got to sit
Right.
through like sometimes they have these ridiculously long adverts or even music songs in between. You've
Mm-hmm.
got to sit through fucking 5 minutes or something.
Okay, so. Okay, I'm back on there and I've got it to an hour and 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm pretty much by there anyway.
There's another typical slasher movie trope with him coming crashing through the window.
Why they all just stood there while he's walking towards them?
I know that we can laugh at this stuff because it is silly. I mean, but I think that's part of. Wouldn't you agree, Darren? That's part of what makes these things fun because
Oh
when
yeah,
you
that wouldn't be nice.
yell at these characters,
Film
say,
or
"You're
something.
so stupid. Why are you doing that?"
Yeah. Shit.
Mm. Okay. Time for me to take another drink because she just tripped. Well, she's toast.
Again, it seems a bit strange that they would run back into the house.
Yeah. We still got a few people in here, but I think everybody's pretty much quit chatting now. I've been coming back to the chat every once in a while.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate this being one of your bigger chats because not a lot of people probably got the film or really would want to watch it, really, would they?
Well, something else I wasn't thinking about. A lot of people, hadn't seen Scream 6 yet, and so like Rob and Kelly were going to see that. I think Afro was going to see it a second time in 3D. Oh, Curly Jaws is back. So did they allow you back on YouTube, oh Curly Jaws?
Tell him to jump on.
Yeah. You
If you can.
want to get on live with me and Darren, oh Curly Jaws, for a few minutes? You want to join? Okay. Let me put the invite back in there for you. Just 1 second. My keyboard went to sleep again. There you go, oh Curly Jaws.
Yeah, hopefully then he done an appeal or something and got back on.
I hope so. Or
does
maybe
it look like it's from his original account or maybe another account?
Maybe. That's what some people do. They make another account.
Yeah, it's easy to do. But the only thing with that is you're basically going to lose all your old videos.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine is a nightmare. I'm glad I haven't, got any, to be honest.
I mean, I hope I don't get kicked off of YouTube at any point in time, but a lot of mine I've got saved, my videos. So if something did happen, at least I'd still have them.
Yeah, I think it's mainly to do with copyright or music issues sometimes. Obviously, Kurt O'Kurjo said something, which they deemed inappropriate, which is just pathetic. I wouldn't have thought your channel would come, get any strikes at all.
Well, I did get strikes whenever I was doing the heartfelt tribute for Paul Kalman and Alf Humphreys and Keith Knight from My Bloody Valentine.
Oh.
But they said two different things. One they said was a copyright thing, and all I was doing was showing clips, not the whole movie. I don't know if they thought I was showing all of My Bloody Valentine or something, but I was just showing clips of each one of the actors.
Oh, right, yeah.
And
yeah, is that when you were playing the trailers as well? Maybe around the same time, weren't you?
Yeah, I decided to scale back that quite a bit to not have very many trailers, maybe every once in a while, and not showing any movie clips or anything. But I appealed mine and they let the video go back. But where they cut me off during the middle of my stream, you don't get the rest of it. But that was basically me being pissed off and saying, what the hell? Why they cut my stream off? But they told me that I wasn't going to get any strikes or anything, and they reinstated the video. So, um,
Right, yeah.
but I don't know if Curly Jaws is going to be on camera or not. I'm going to go ahead and add him here. Hey, Curly Jaws.
Hey,
There you are.
I had to figure out my camera situation. You can't keep me dead. You can't keep me dead that long, you two.
Evidently not.
As I want a CK. If you're watching this, I want a shirt that says "Sorry, Jack, Curly's back."
There you go.
That would be. I'll fucking shirt. What is CK? Make that shirt. That would be a seller.
So you back on the original channel?
No, the original channel is gone forever. Sadly, I created a new Gmail and just started from scratch because I'm like, I couldn't react. I couldn't come in anybody's chat anymore. So I'm like, this is depressing. So I'm like, well, okay, fuck it. I'll make another Gmail. I didn't want to use Gmail because they pissed me off. But no other. You can't use any other one. Like Yahoo is not compatible with YouTube. And I think none of the other ones are either. It's just Google, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
So the new channel, if you'd like to subscribe, is Oh Curly Jaws Resurrection.
Right.
It's one of the greatest films in the franchise of Halloween Resurrection.
Ah.
But hopefully Buster Rhymes doesn't kick down my door and kick my ass.
I think
That would be my luck.
Dana, can you hear an echo as well?
Yeah, I think it's. I think Curly Jaws doesn't use. You don't use headphones or earbuds, do you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think that's why we're hearing the echo.
Oh, is it too loud?
Maybe just a tad, not too bad.
All right, I turned down a smidge. Did y'all watch Halloween 6? Fuck. Did y'all watch Scream 6?
Yes, I did. Me and Steve went today.
Did you like it?
I did.
Did you think it was the best in the franchise?
No, I always reserved that for the first one. But it was a decent entry, though.
I loved it. I thought it was great. Like from beginning to end, I was on my toes. I was just like, "What's happening next?" Like I don't know if the chat's seen it, so I don't want to spoil it. But you got to watch the last film to understand this one. If you go in seeing this one, not seeing the last one, you're not gonna know what the fuck you're watching.
Yeah, you might.
Right. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not gonna. I'll probably wait till it comes on digital or even Blu-ray. I love that. I really like the last one a lot. So I think I'll pretty much start seeing the kind of thing, type of film coming anyway.
But yeah, Scream 6 was very, very good. Like bringing back Hayden was the first. I wish they would have brought her back in the other one, but bringing her back in, at least they brought her back in this one. I was happy about that.
Is that the blonde girl with the short hair from Part 4?
That was my biggest problem with Part 4 was them killing, which I knew. I was like, they didn't kill Kirby off. I'm like, but there hasn't been a film until like last year, so I was like, well, will Kirby ever come back? And I'm like, I knew she wasn't dead. But the fourth film makes you think she's gone, but
Yeah.
So Darren has Sorority House Massacre ended yet. It closed me out of Sorority House Massacre again, so I wasn't sure exactly where you were at.
I can hear the massive echo again. Can you?
Yeah, I can hear it. I think it's still coming from old Curly Jaws. I'm almost sure.
Is there any way you can mute their curly jaws? And so, I don't know how you do it.
Well, you
Let me
Have you
try
got the
something.
photo?
Hold on one
the
second.
echo, Darren, if you didn't have the earbuds in. But I think because he doesn't use earbuds, I think that's why we're hearing our voices on his end.
Yeah, I don't know if I got any earbuds just laying around anywhere. I need to buy some actually. I need to get some.
But I noticed it a little bit when just he and I are talking. But I think this is probably the first time we've had somebody else on there and we're all talking at the same time. I think that's where the echo's coming in. But well, I hate to cut it off early, guys, and no Curly Jaws just got on here, but I've got to watch the comeback before it gets any later for the show tomorrow. And I'm sure Darren's got to be getting him some rest because it's got to be late there now.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m.
Ooh.
It's like,
Ooh.
That's really something.
That's gross. I'll be bed by now. 2 a.m. There's no. I'll be out.
well, you got to be getting the Curly Jaws for springing forward. So
I know. I don't know why. We're the only country on earth that does daylight savings time, and it's stupid.
but guys, I want to thank Curly Jaws. I want to thank Darren for being on here with me tonight. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat. And remind you that we're doing night school at 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So if you want to join us for that, we'll be doing that.
Never seen Night School, so.
Oh, might be in for the treat then. And I'm doing a John Cusack stream on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about John Cusack movie. So, got that coming. So, as always, I'm going to skedaddle on out here for the night, and I will see everyone on the flip side. Y'all have a good night, guys. Have a good morning, Darren. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one, y'all.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.